breaking cover before dawn, the first sighting of Boris Johnson in days, but no running away from the allegations and anger over Downing Street parties. The day got brighter, but the mood around here is dark. A PM who wishes he could turn back the clock.
Boris Johnson's day's numbered.
But MPs returning from their constituencies after the weekend worry the damage is irreversible.
I think people may well be too angry to forgive, but it remains to be seen.
And how much anger in your constituency? How palpable?
Absolutely furious.
Well, got to keep going.
And this is what that looks like. Cabinet ministers trying to get back to the business of governing.
With permission, Mr. Speaker, I would like to make a statement.
From statements on the BBC licence fee funding, frozen for 2 years,
Home Secretary.
Mr. Speaker.
to migrant crossings in the Channel, trying to change the agenda, but having little luck. Home Secretary Priti Patel under fire for telling me she fully supported the PM, despite demanding the police to prosecute the public during those lockdowns.
How on earth can she defend the Prime Minister who has publicly admitted breaking the rules? She isn't even waiting for the Sue Gray report. Beth Rigby asked her, are you reserving judgment until the Sue Gray report comes out? She said, no, on the contrary, I have publicly supported the Prime Minister. Tens of thousands of fines were given out in the months when Downing Street was holding parties.
And tonight, fresh accusations about the Downing Street garden party on May the 20th, 2020, which the PM attended. Mr Johnson's former top advisor turned foe, Dominic Cummings, says he warned the PM against holding the event after another aide, Martin Reynolds, invited over 100 staff to drinks when the country was in lockdown. Dominic Cummings wrote in his blog, I said to the PM something like, Martin's invited the building to a drinks party. This is what I'm talking about. You've got to grip this madhouse. The PM waved it aside. Not only me, but other eyewitnesses who discussed this at the time would swear under oath this is what happened. What's your reaction to tonight's allegations?
Well, clearly someone's not telling the truth, and if that turns out to be Boris Johnson, then that is terminal. Misleading Parliament, misleading the public as Prime Minister, that's a cardinal sin, and that will be career-ending for him.
Mr Cummings' account was repeated to me today by a second Downing Street source who told me that the Prime Minister did know about the May 20th event in advance and let it go ahead anyway. That flies in the face of what Downing Street has said all along, that this is simply untrue. More questions then for Sue Gray's ever-expanding investigation and a development that will further infuriate already furious MPs. How many emails have you got on this in the past few days? Is it really getting cut through?
Yes, it certainly is. I've had hundreds of emails on this topic, yeah.
More than the Dominic Cummings incident on this?
I would say it's on a par with Dominic Cummings.
Well, that's very worrying for the Prime Minister, isn't it?
Yes, it should, and it should be worrying for the Prime Minister and indeed Number 10. I think they need to know the level of anger that is felt out there in the country and that something needs to change.
Just to be clear, especially worrying for Conservative MPs in marginal red wall seats.
The Prime Minister, he has a lot of convincing to do because again, and my constituents are unconvinced at the moment. My ask to the Prime Minister is to really dig in and is to really, speak from the heart, put the Sue Gray report aside. If you can't turn things round, if the constituents and, the British people don't want to give you a chance, then you have to, at that point, reconsider.
So many in his party and the public now having second thoughts about the man behind this door. And even if he survives the scandal, can he ever really recover?